Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Charles, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and where we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today, we have another episode, and I may most likely go off, so make sure you stick around for this one. Make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Now, all of y'all know exactly how I feel about Ben Simmons, at least the people that have seen some of the shows that we produced. No one, in my personal opinion, has wasted more of our time in the NBA than Ben Simmons. No one. There's no one that has wasted more of our time. You can't even say Kyrie, because at least Kyrie came back and played. Ben Simmons has wasted everyone's time. I have been one of the few people that has said Ben Simmons is the direct result of what you get when young guys are being babied. When you baby young guys, this is exactly what happens when you don't have older guys telling younger guys the truth. This is what you get. Being told the truth, especially when it comes from someone that you respect and admire, it can be painful. I'll be the first one to admit that. It can be painful. It can hurt. But you know what it does for you? It makes you more aware. It gives you self-awareness when you have somebody willing to tell you like it is. I've told the story in the past with my dad, right? My dad, he's like a man's man. And one day I spoke to him. I thought I was doing something years ago. I was like, I thought I was doing something in my life. And I asked him, I said, Dad, do you think I'm doing anything? Like, do you think I'm doing anything? He said, if I'm going to be honest with you, he said, I don't think you're doing anything. Like, I was like, what? He's like, yeah, I don't think you're doing anything. And I could see that it pained him to say it, because I could see the pain on his face, but it also hurt me. But guess what? He was honest with me. And I had to sit back and say, oh, wait a minute. Am I actually doing something? And it lit a fire in me. I was like, okay, no. I got to prove this guy. So those type of things can be helpful. In the case of Ben Simmons, I don't think he's getting any of that whatsoever. Hence, the fact that Ben Simmons has no self-awareness. And we don't need to go any further than to look at how Ben Simmons was dressed going to those Brooklyn Nets play. Ben Simmons was dressed like he was attending a spring and summer fashion week, a fashion show in Paris or something. That's how Ben Simmons was dressed up. It got so bad that people actually started to comment on it. And in one game, he didn't even show up on the bench. It got that bad. So this is what happens when you have no self-awareness whatsoever. I have been one of the few people in the media, there have been others, but in independent media, let me say, not on big media, independent media, that is really called baloney on this new story surrounding his back. I said that a lot of the parts about this story make absolutely no sense if you're asking me. And guess what? After going through the research, if I'm going to do the legwork, go through the research, comb through the information. If it doesn't make any sense to me, I have a bloody right to say it. I'm not lying. I didn't say anybody's lying. I said it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't add up to me. Right? This is what I've said. And it seems like Jalen Rose seems to be of that same, seems to be sharing that same sentiment, right? Here's what Jalen Rose said, because I don't know if he saw one of our videos or whatever, but here's what he had to say immediately after the news broke of Ben Simmons' injury. Here's what Jalen Rose had to say on May 5th. Take a listen to what Jalen Rose had to say on ESPN. Take a listen to that.
I gotta always remember, like, if you've been around the game for as long as I have, like, I know people everywhere and know about everything. And the one thing that has given me staying power, the players know I'm only saying a percentage of what I really know. And Ben Simmons' case was one of those. You saw so many people calling him soft. You saw so many people saying he didn't want it. If you look back at the film, not me once. Because here's my question. How did he pass a physical?
Did they know when they traded for him that he's going to need back surgery that's going to take him out for 4 months? He wasn't going to play?
How did he pass a physical? Number one. Number two, this going down for both of those teams is an actual bad trade.
Well, when you look at
Philly
it,
ain't getting what they
James
want.
Harden gave up. He gave up on the Nets. He was mailing it in. Well, I'm watching him against the Heat like, was he? Or is this just who James Harden is now?
It's who he is now. And you just showed me a stat, 29 games with the Sixers having attempted 20 shots. But again, if a lot of people owe Ben Simmons apologies today, because athletes, like I told you, are not lining up to get shots in their back, which he did during the playoffs. We broke a story live when I was on ABC, and I was literally like, yo, like, he's hurt. And so now when you officially announce that you're going under the knife, beep, beep, beep. A lot of people need to apologize.
On May 6th, I called total BS on that story. On May 6th, the following day, right? I called BS on it. I said it made no sense what we're being told according to the rules and regulations surrounding trades in the NBA. And in fact, we combed through the information via NBA.com and we actually produced a video. And we want to play a little bit of some of the comments that I had to say that comes directly from the rules and regulations that the NBA laid forward in terms of trade. So before we go too far, I want you guys to take a listen to Article 9 of this particular document of the NBA explaining explicitly how trades work when you're moving one player to the other team in terms of the procedures, in terms of, clearing physicals, etc. Take a listen to that, and we're going to come back and really get into this thing. Reporting and physicals. It says one final topic that discussed on the trade call is how long each player has to report to his new team and whether the trade will be dependent on each player passing a physical. The collective bargaining agreement gives players several days to report to their team, but the teams may agree to provide even more time, especially over the summer. In any event, the trade is not officially complete and no player may suit up for a new team in a game or practice until the player reports to the new team and passes a physical exam. In addition, players near the end of their contracts and those player agents are required to sign forms certifying that there is no undisclosed side deals involving new contracts as a part of the trade. As a result of the report deadline and required physical and certifications, a trade usually doesn't become official until long after it is announced at a press conference. From that same report, in any event, the trade is not officially complete and no player may suit up for his new team or practice until all players report to their new teams and pass a physical exam. Sometimes teams agree to waive physical exam requirements. Now, after we produced that video, subsequently, Gilbert Arenas went on Vlad TV. And he went on there and basically said that this entire thing is basically one big money play. And Ben Simmons could be faking his injury because he said, oh, all I have to do is just, my back is hurting. Why? Because he said if Ben Simmons all of a sudden was able to play after he got traded to the Brooklyn Nets, there's no way he would be able to get his money from the Philadelphia 76ers, because if he got his money, if he played, then Philly would be saying, I thought you said you were injured. How come all of a sudden you can't play? That's the reason Ben Simmons is not playing. That's what Gilbert Arenas said. So just yesterday, I was listening to Jalen Rose on The Breakfast Club, and he brought up the question that I brought up in that video that we first produced, where I basically called baloney on all of this. And I said, how the hell can this guy be injured if he passes physical examination? And we didn't hear not a mumbling word from the Brooklyn Nets organization. So take a listen to what Jalen Rose had to say about this Ben Simmons story.
Now, what happened with Brooklyn? What happened with Brooklyn is you can't cheat the game. I think who said it? Our guy Styles get married to the game but never have a kid with it. I think that's what I saw with them. And what I mean is talented on paper. Like when they first signed, like as you guys know, I work in New York doing the Post. So like I remember when they signed, and I was like everybody else, like this might be a reincarnation of what happened in Miami when LeBron went down there. And then all of a sudden I see like KD was invested clearly because KD's just a beast. KD will play anywhere. But he got injured this year. And James Harden was looking at KD like I'm Belly's like, that's your man. Like, y'all brought me here, but he won't get vaccinated. Right. So what's up with your man?
Right.
And so James Harden like, you know what, I don't want to play in Brooklyn no more. And he basically quit on the team.
Since I have been covering this story, right? It seems as if that there are other people in the media that are also saying, those people that are also following this story, that are also saying, wait a minute. This don't make no damn sense. Who are those people? Paul Pierce, Brian Windhorst, Stephen A. Smith, us here at Dreamers Pro. We are independent media. Whether people like it or not, we cover the news. Us here at Dreamers Pro, Jalen Rose, and Gilbert Arenas. Here's my final takeaway from this entire thing. Ben Simmons is wasting literally everyone's time. I don't really think Ben Simmons cares about playing basketball whatsoever. I really, really, really don't think he does. In my personal opinion, I don't think he does. Listen, before I moved, when I was living in Italy, one of my most favorite activity to do was run. Ask Mark, I love to run. Run out and just go outside for a run. I'll be out there for like 2 hours, not running straight for 2 hours. I'll run, stop, think, do all of these different things. And I loved it. There was nothing more that I enjoyed than run. Nothing I enjoyed more than run. It was my escape. And one day I injured myself. I injured my ankle or something. I got injured. And I wasn't going to be able to run for like 2 weeks. Let me tell you something. It tore me apart. I was depressed that I couldn't run. Something as simple as running. And I did that for my leisure. I wasn't getting paid to run. Most people that care about basketball, you can't stop them from playing basketball. Kevin Garnett said, if you want to know if somebody loves basketball, give them $100 million and see if they'll wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning and go run on the beach to get their body ready in the off season for the season. That's what passion is. When you truly love it. You think Michael Jordan was playing basketball for money? You think LeBron James was playing basketball for money? You think after a certain point, Bill Gates was making money, making computers because he needed money? You think Steve Jobs was making phones because he needed money? You think Elon Musk is doing what he's doing because he needs money? These guys are not doing it because they do it because they love it. They love it, and nothing will stop these guys from performing that passion. In the case of Ben Simmons looks totally unbothered. It seems like it's no big deal whatsoever. And again, I'm going to say it once more. I'll be waiting for the guys that will come in the comment section and begin to ask me, oh, why are you being so... One guy even asked me, why do you even care? Why do you even care what Ben Simmons is doing in his life? Well, sir, you came to a basketball channel, sports news channel. Last time I checked, Ben Simmons is not a rugby player. He's not a soccer player. He's not a tennis player. He is part of the NBA. So guess what? If he's part of the NBA news, I'm going to talk about him. That's why. Concerned, I don't care about Ben Simmons in the way that you think I'm concerned. No one cares, really. The only guys that really care about Ben Simmons and what he's doing and what he has are chatty patties, to give Damon Dash his credit. Those are guys that love running around talking about what other guys are doing, and girls. Apart from me covering him, in terms of sports media, I could care less. That's why we're covering him. So what I want to know from you guys is this. What do you think about what Jalen Rose had to say? And what do you think Ben Simmons ultimately is going to... I've been hearing some people say that they don't even think this guy wants to play basketball. I never even processed that because I don't think enough about this guy to even think about that. What I want to know from you guys is, what do you think about this entire thing thus far?